everyone. Hello parents across the globe and particularly parents of our very own Palikudam community. The last year and a half or more has been very challenging and uncertain, especially for our children and us in general. And as a school, as a Palikudam school, the health and well-being of our staff and learners have been a priority in the last year and a half. Considering the ongoing pandemic and the challenges it's imposed on each one of us, as a school, as a community, I'm sure you would agree with me when I say we had taken up the initiative of reaching out to every household to make sure that children have been catered to in terms of the fine and gross motor, experiential learning, and also the learning aids that were sent out to make sure that the learning experiences were not robbed of the children. And considering children have been missing out on their childhood days of interaction, peer talk, peer discussions, and a lot more dialogue that has been robbed off from the children, we feel sad, we feel helpless, and we are reaching out to you as a community, from the mentor community. So the first thing I would like to begin with, and I would like to put forth to our community, is we now see the need to unite, to communicate, to connect, and to start a conversation. And to start a conversation, I feel we first have to ask ourselves, are you okay? Is your child okay? Have all the children under our fold been okay? Okay in terms of the social emotional well-being, okay in terms of physical development, okay in terms of the emotional needs that a child would need, okay in terms of anything apart from academics, because our focus has been on academics and with the virtual platform taking care of all the academic and the intellectual development happening for our learners. With the vaccinations that have spread across the city and in our parent community, I also feel that we are ready to start having our children, start focusing on our children's development in terms of where are they right now, what needs to be done, how do we cater to the loss or the damages that's happened during the initial phase of our children's development stages. We have been focused on to make sure that children don't lose out on the academics or the intellectual well-being or the age-appropriate development that is required. How many of us have thought about what is my child missing? What is the interaction my child is missing? I have been having my child going for 1.5 hours of classes every day. I'm comparing my child with the other children on how the performance has been, on how the writing has been, and on how the pronunciation has been. How many of us have even sat back and thought about where is my child and what is he missing on a normal day when compared to a normal day? That is our challenge, and that is something that we have been working towards on giving back our child normalcy in terms of dialogue between children and mentors, normalcy in terms of play, normalcy in terms of outdoor activities. And as a school, we had initiated the come out and jog around racecourse a month ago, and then for the older grade school children, we had taken them on a trek to start getting them to interact with nature and to have them outdoors. These are some of the initiatives that we have taken, and yes, we were a little cautious that we couldn't cater to, we didn't want to pull out the younger children with so much of uncertainty that the pandemic has imposed. But now we do realize and we do see it a threat of children being confined to the spaces. What are they losing? So what are the children missing? Children have been, some children have missed out on their fine motor, on the gross motor. Some children have missed out on their eye contact and speech. Some children have become frustrated. Some children have started talking like characters that they watch over TV and over the YouTube channels. Some children with parents who have made sure that children have a little dose of outdoor activities, a little dose of exposure, a little dose of maybe cousin play or friend time or a friend date have kind of surfaced well. But it is the reason why we as a community are reaching out to parents is because we do see that children who are coming to us right now, we do see a loss of voice, a loss of speech. A normal child has lost out on speech and has lost out on the fine motor development to hold a pencil, as children need to hold a pencil and start writing as young as a lower kindergarten, as we do not want the pandemic to restrict the progress of a child's education journey, I would say. So when we are working with parents, we have been having parents who have been dropping children with us to make sure that a one-on-one support has been given in areas of concern, and we have also been reaching out to parents when we see that children need help when they upload the activities or the writing work that they do. We have been calling parents, and parents have been very cooperative in sending them to us maybe for an hour a day or a couple of hours a day. But is that enough? Is something that we need to ask ourselves. And this is only a particular group of children where we see the need that a need of intervention, a need of remedial support that has been offered. What happens on a larger scale? What happens on a larger perspective? We've had maybe a term of virtual learning happening, and as a school, with the kindergartners or with the junior school children, we have made it. We have had story times on Friday evenings. We have had nursery times. We've had Dear Week. We have had a body and movement to encourage the body and movement and the flexibility and the posture in each child. We make sure every child gets the dose of fitness classes in the morning. But is that enough? I mean, is that enough? Because everything is across the screen. And as a school that's imposed no screen time on a child till 5 or 6 years old, I would say we are guilty of having children exposed to an hour of screen time and to make education being imparted to a child through a screen, which I think is okay for a year, has been okay for a year and a half, but not anymore. What can we do? What can we do to change? What can we do to bring our learners, give our learners, our children, back their time of childhood? We as a school community are open to taking children outside the school, in outdoor places. We are okay in having smaller groups. We are okay in having a one-on-one support. But again, we need to work as a community, and we need to unite as a community for the sake of our children. So I'm reaching out to every parent under our fold to work with us, to collaborate with us, and to give the best to children during these times. We do know that each one of you have been caught up with your work, have been caught up with your day-to-day chores that you have been occupied with, and hats off to all the parents. And I'm sure you are a parent as well as you have been a full-time parent, as well as you've had your share of work and that you had to take care of during the times. And I think now it's time for us to work towards slowly taking over your responsibilities. And how can we do it, and how safely could we do it is our question. So till we meet back again, until we form a group and get back to parents, I would like parents to start observing children and to reach out to us before it's too late. A parent who has a child between age 3 and 6, reach out to us if you find that a child is not making an eye contact while talking to you, is not responding to the name when called, has had an issue with conversations, has just stopped talking for some reason, has gone into a shell and doesn't come out of the room, gets very restless and irritated when you call for a virtual class or for a daily chore that's happening. It keeps the child away from the peer group or a group of friends or cousins when they come. So all these are the areas of concerns that we would want parents to reach out to us if you find, if you observe anything in your child back home. Is your child showing any signs of using the left and the right hand, and you are trying to change your child to be a right-handed child from a left-handed child? No, it is not allowed. I'm sure during our virtual orientations, we did tell parents on how to work on the finger grip and how to work on the finger muscles, so that to make sure that a child gets the dose of the fine motor development in order to hold the pencil in the right way. So this is it for parents of grade, between grade age 3 and age 6. So reach out to us if you have any of these concerns that you are facing, obesity and sluggishness in children. And some children, we also notice that they have started having an accent, and they start reliving characters that they see on a YouTube or on a social media channel. So this needs intervention immediately, and this is an area of concern. For parents who have primary children, we do see a lot of children into gaming. We do see a lot of children distracted when they have their classes ongoing and they have multiple screens opened up parallelly, and a lot of chats happen. We also do see that children are getting frustrated and are finding it difficult to sit in a place compared to the virtual classes of last year. So what should we do? I think the pandemic has kind of eased out a little, and children can be taken out for an outdoor activity, or for a sport, or even for a walk with you when you walk around your apartment, or walk around in a gated community, or outside in a common area or on a farm. Start having peer group meets between your own friends of the class. You could call them to a farm, or you could call them to the house. Children need to have dialogues. Children need to have conversations. We do see children losing out on things in terms of losing out. They don't know how to interact with a child. They are missing out on sharing between children. So I would say it's sad to see children missing out on the basic requirements what a child needs to thrive. And for parents, middle school and high school, considering that children are entering teenage and adolescence, we need to be a little watchful, because for these children, it's all about themselves. They're going to an identity phase where they need to feel good and they need to look good, and they need a lot of peer interaction, and we need to be a friend more than a parent. We have been having parenting workshops, to reach out to the concerns of parents and to make sure that we are making a shift in parenting from a normal day to a parenting during the pandemic, because it involves much more planning and much more ways than a regular parenting day would be. So yes, we have been monitoring children over, and we have been reaching out to parents when we find that children's performance has come back, but I feel we have looked more towards the academic side rather than the personal side of what a child needs and what a child has to have and is being deprived of. We are here to help children to deal with stress and to deal with uncertainty, and as a school that focuses on visible learning, we are really worried to see that the invisible learning that happens on a regular day of school has totally been robbed away from the child. And we are concerned, and as we are concerned, we are reaching out to every parent under our fold to partner with us, to unite with us, and to communicate and collaborate towards enabling learning and enabling childhood in every child under our fold.